A warm welcome to everyone here, from here and abroad, gathered together in this beautiful venue, in this magical city, in this crazy region, to listen, to share, and hopefully to be a part of a change that we hope to create. Last November, when I was in TED India, I went on a pre-conference trip to a Tibetan monastery 2 hours away. When I got on the bus, I met an impressive woman. She turned out to be Palestinian, born in Amman with family in Bethlehem. We hit it off from the start. As you can imagine, we quickly got into a political debate that lasted all the way to the monastery and back. But through it all, we were able to keep and maintain a good and meaningful conversation. Hanan asked me, "How many Palestinians do you know?" And I had to admit, I didn't know any. This sparked an idea and a vision for TEDxHolyLand. Basically, we kicked this off at TEDx Tel Aviv. Hanan bravely took the stage, introduced the idea, shared the vision, and that started us on a long and winding road that's been a little bit more reminiscent of a roller coaster. Some people were very supportive, and some people were a bit antagonistic, and in the end, we were able to put together this event. We thought to ourselves, in putting a conference together, most conferences have predominantly male speakers, and we thought this would be an opportunity to actually try to skew that. So in the end, we were able to gather a group of all women speakers, and in doing so, we are the first TEDx of the hundreds of TEDx events all over the world that have all women speakers. Once we started meeting all the impressive people that we wanted to bring on board, we came face to face with a Palestinian reality, and that reality is normalization. It's normalization that has made it impossible for some of the speakers that we wanted to come today to be able to come and join us on the stage. For those of you who don't know what normalization is, and I have to admit that a few months ago I didn't know what it meant, what it is a Palestinian initiative to try to not have joint events, conferences, academic or sport or cultural meetings that do an as-if normal event of the occupation. We've been through a lot of that, and this conference is not about normalization. In fact, as Dani, where's Dani? There's nothing normal about occupation. That's his line, and that's what we've come to terms with. We want to have women's voices heard in an effort to progress towards the end of occupation and the end of violence in our region. That's what we're about. So inherently, and by definition, everything is political, especially in this region. The choice of the venue, the participants, the actual meeting itself. But in that grain, I want to say that TED Talks, by definition, are not political per se. The talks will be highlighting women's identity, women's empowerment, through personal stories and analog and inference. We urge you to listen with empathetic ears, try to understand, try to hear, and hopefully be able to take this and take it one step further. That's our dream for this vision, or my dream for this vision. At this point, I'd like to introduce a film producer, entrepreneur, mother, brave inspiration to many, one of my very best friends in the world, and my first Palestinian friend, Hanan Kattan. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Liat, my first Israeli friend, and my very, very dear friend. The Sufi poet Rumi said, "Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right-doing, there's a field. I'll meet you there." Against all odds, Liat and I, as a team, nurtured the vision of TEDxHolyLand, being a small corner of that field. A field where we can bring together people who are traditionally known as enemies, and where our speakers, who are all women, will share their life experiences and what inspires and motivates them. If you come out with one thing from today, we hope it will be that we each have to do it alone, and yet we cannot do it by ourselves. I first learned this from my grandfather, who was from Bethlehem. He was a visionary social entrepreneur and a philanthropist who inspired me and encouraged me to go into business when very few women did. And he showed me that anything is possible if I believed in it strongly. And I did believe in my abilities, and that belief, supported by my father, encouraged me to pursue my dreams. And one of those dreams is TEDxHolyLand. As a Palestinian whose parents are from Bethlehem and Jerusalem, holding this event here in East Jerusalem has a very special meaning for me. But this could only become a reality through the support and the generosity of a wider group of people, and in particular, one Palestinian woman through her financial support who wishes to remain anonymous. The Palestinian people and the Israeli people have many individual challenges they have to work on separately. And yet, ultimately, a truly sustainable future relies on both sides understanding that they cannot do it alone. This connection to each other, this working together, is essential to make anything truly worthwhile happen. One of life's blessings is to be able to share. TED is about ideas worth spreading and sharing. We hope you take with you from TEDxHolyLand the ideas that inspire you, and above all, that you generously share those inspirations with others. Shalom, salam, and thank you for being here.